Yes, 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 yes. Come on. This is Intercontinental Sport TV. Back again with this video. It's all about NFL Talk Show with the game main guy here. I'm talking about the big guy. He's here live and direct. Let's do this. It's about time.
1 week before the draft. It's ready.
All right, you hear that from the main man himself. It's ready to go. How you doing, Paul?
Man, I'm doing great.
What's going on, bro? Yeah, we got to do this. You know what's going on with my own channel right now? I'm talking about soccer. Yeah, Manchester United is down.
Even though still tune in, there's always going to be something going on, in the soccer world. Please make sure you check in with the Donna Sports Entertainment. Please watch, his soccer show. And this guy eats, sleeps.
All right, take it away. Now, let's go into this. We're talking about NFL Talk Show, guys. Stay back if you're watching this for the first time. Wherever you are, this is ourselves, this is our studio. Please subscribe to the channel, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel, like the videos. Let's do this. The big guys here, chilling. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. Yeah, make sure you go for that hat trick. Like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from you. Well, here we are. We are going to be finishing up the first round of our mock draft. And then next week, the draft starts on Thursday with the first round. Then you have rounds 2 and 3 Friday night. And then the rest of the draft, rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7 are on Saturday. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to go live during day 3 on Saturday and go live, monitor the picks as they're coming in, but also try to recap the first 3 rounds. That's the plan as of right now. So that's what I think we're going to try to do. But thank you, everybody, for being here today. Hope everybody's doing good Saturday. And if you're home, hopefully you're relaxing. Hopefully the missus don't have you outside doing yard work yet. But if she does, take a break, come inside, and we're going to try to break this down a little bit. So if you watched last week or whenever you watched it, as I said, you can see we're coming near the end of the first round. Our last pick last week was the New England Patriots. So with this week, we're going to start with the Green Bay Packers, who are selecting at, I think it's 22. Hold on one second. All right. Let me see. All right. All right. So the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, of course, he's back with the team and everything. So they definitely have their QB. He signed a contract extension with them. So it looks like he should be there for the next couple years. They still have Jordan Love, who they drafted as his replacement a couple years ago. But as of right now, it looks like unless Rodgers gets hurt, he's not going to be seeing any time on the field. So, all right. So, like I said, pick 22, we got the Packers. They got this pick in the trade with Las Vegas that sent Devontae Adams to my boys in Vegas so he could go play with his good friend, Mr. Derek Carr. They played together at Fresno State College and University in California. So, with this pick, actually, his biggest need for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers is they need another receiver, okay? So, I guess it's super obvious, take your receiver. But as you can see, the last couple of years, the Packers, they marched to the beat of their own drum. But why re-sign Aaron Rodgers if you're not going to try to at least, make him a little bit happy? So, fine, all right, we're going to get him that receiver. So, we're going to go Treylon Burks, wide receiver, University of Arkansas. had a really good year last year. Yep, Traylon Burks. I know some people were talking about at the combine, maybe he didn't run some drills the way they expected. Maybe he didn't look as fast as they expected, or whatever it may be. I think the drills can be a great way to get an idea about some of the gifts and abilities these players have, but you shouldn't let it be what you use to completely form your opinion of this player, because they say film doesn't lie. I think sometimes it does, but you can see Traylon Burks. He had the most touchdowns on the team last year. He had 12 touchdowns, and he has a knack to getting the ball. He's a guy that's going to fight for the ball too. If the QB throws it up and he's right there with the defender wrestling with him, I think he has a good shot of coming down with it. 6'2". I think he's pretty decently fast, and I think he's finally that another weapon that Rodgers needs. I mean, he already needed a receiver with Devontae Adams. Now that he's gone, they got to at least try to fill in that gap, and get a receiver. So they go Traylon Burks, wide receiver, University of Arkansas, played in the SEC, which is the Southeastern Conference, for those not familiar, which is the toughest conference in college football. A lot of the biggest talents in high school go play there. So I think Burks will be able to step in with the Packers and make an impact. So our next team that we have coming up is the Arizona Cardinals. So as you can see, most of these teams picking from here to the end of the round are all going to be your playoff teams and your teams that had the best season. We're going to Kyler Gordon, who cornerback. If you watched last week, you saw his teammate Trent McDuffie also went in the first round, another cornerback. So Kyler Gordon, he was first team, all conference, all Pac-12. Another good corner. Cornerback is a need for the Cardinals. I think they might have some bigger needs like tight end, but there's nobody I see available. I think this is a pretty weak tight end class. I don't see anybody available that would justify them taking a tight end right here. So they already got Kyler Murray, so why not get another Kyler Gordon? Cornerback could definitely, step in and played in the Pac-12. So Kyler Gordon would be the pick here. Like I said, they have other needs, but some of them would be a reach, and they seem like they are a pretty good organization when it comes to taking the right players in the right spots. But like I said, Kyler Gordon, University of Washington Huskies, cornerback, all conference. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar or anything like that, but I think he's going to come in and make an impact with some of the guys they already got there. They got some talented guys. I know the Cardinals went through some injuries last year, but they're still a team that's on the rise, and they're playing in that NFC West with the defending champ Rams. You got the Niners, who are another tough team, and even Seattle can be a little tough. I don't know how tough they're going to be now that Russell Wilson's gone, but Kyler Gordon to the Arizona Cardinals. Now this next one, this is, some people may say this is a reach. I don't know. I kind of like this guy, but he's a man by the name of Bernhard Raimann. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. This is a big boy. I mean, I'm the big guy, but he's got me beat. Central Michigan University. Most of you listen probably have never heard of Central Michigan. They play in one of the, I'd say not maybe small conferences, but middle conferences, the Mid-American Conference. We've had some good players come out of there in the past. Central Michigan is where Antonio Brown went. That's the only time you're probably going to ever hear me mention that name on this show. But Bernhard Raimann. So he's an offensive tackle. He's got a lot to like. Great run blocker. Dallas could definitely use some help on that offensive line. Help for the running game, blocking. Also, block that other side for Dak Prescott, in case, maybe Prescott decides to run a little bit or whatever it may be. But this guy, he's just super athletic. He's sometimes when you get guys this size, when they're hitting 6'6", over 300 pounds, maybe they're not the most athletic or flexible, but this guy's flexible. You know, you see some of these guys, these defenders coming off the edge, these defensive ends, and they want to come off the edge and get to the quarterback. Well, he's got the flexibility where he can, he can anticipate that, and he can get, he can block. Maybe he's a eventual replacement for Tyron Smith on the left side, but Raymond, I like him, and he's a good story. He's originally from Austria, so who knows? Maybe he's related to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. I mean, he's a big guy too, So exchange student, went to Central Michigan. I think there's a lot to like about him. Maybe it takes him a year or two to really get going, but I think he's going to be. I like him a lot. He might be one of my favorite players in this draft. So, like I said, he's going to help out that Dallas offensive line and get in there and, help Dallas stay competitive. So, with that being said, we're going to get ready for our next pick. At number 25, we got the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills, and this may be another reach, but I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker, running back, Michigan State. This guy had a great year at Michigan State last year. I mean, he's a great runner. I like him. Maybe some people didn't have him going to like the early second round. Running back's not another position that is really maybe inspiring a lot of confidence this year, but I really like this guy. He carried Michigan State last year on offense, and I think Buffalo, who's got a great young QB and Josh Allen, they got Stephon Diggs, one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL. Stephon Diggs, who's from Maryland, gotta love it, repping the home state well. Buffalo, I don't really see them having a lot of weaknesses, but the running game was definitely one of them. Now, I'm okay with QB running when situations dictate it, or maybe that's how you call up the play. But I think Josh Allen, just like some of these other QBs, was doing a little too much running. And when somebody's your franchise and you sign them to a big contract, you shouldn't be putting your guy out there unnecessarily. He could be taking hits. Buffalo is right on the fringe. I mean, they came so close this year. They lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs, but Kenneth Walker could help that run game, which I think was their biggest weakness, because they had Devin Singletary and was it Zach Moss, who at times had their moments, but I think Kenneth Walker is a guy that could come in there, push those guys, and I could he'd come in there, and I think he'd give that running game the boost it needs so that they could be balanced. Teams can't just sit back and say, oh, Josh Allen's going to run or throw. We got to actually worry about the running backs in the backfield. And Kenneth Walker, like I said, some people might think it's a reach, but I don't really care. I like it. I think it's a good pick. So we're going with Kenneth Walker. And I just want to say, everybody, again, thank you for being here. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Please help us out. Because frankly, I just get tired of all the threats from my producer. He tells me if I don't get in more subscribers. Oh, wait, we did, because we have 2,000 subscribers now. That is a big deal. Look, everybody who's supported the channel, we really appreciate you. Yemi, he started the channel in December, and I don't know what his expectations were, but I know he was having fun with it. I joined in, I guess it would have been late January, right prior to the Super Bowl. And we've seen a lot of growth. We've seen this channel really develop and come together. And I just want to thank everybody, whether it's friends of Yemi's, friends of mine, people we've met along the way, especially Laura, our #1 fan. Thank you very much. Just wanted to thank you guys for that, because 2,000 subscribers, that's huge. I mean, this is April and we've already hit 2,000. So we really appreciate that, everybody. So, all right. So enough of that stuff. We're going to get right back to it. Oh, and this next pick, this is going to be for our friends in Nigeria. The Tennessee Titans are picking next, and I'm going to have them take Arnold Abikati. That's right. Representing Nigeria. Now, we were talking about this last week, but there has been an influx of players from Africa, with Nigeria leading the way. I think we've seen some guys from Ghana, I think maybe Sudan. Actually, that might be basketball. Some of these other nations, but Nigeria is leading the way. People in Nigeria really seem to have. I mean, I know they love soccer first and foremost. We're not going to argue that, but I think they're really taking an interest in American football. And some of these coaches and scouts, whether they're going over there or whatever it may be, but they're bringing them here. And you saw that last year when the Baltimore Ravens took a defensive end and edge rusher from Penn State in the first round who was from Nigeria. So his former teammate, Arnold Abikati, I got him going to the Tennessee Titans. These guys, I mean, super athletic, fast, strong, everything you'd want. Now, maybe they lack some of the discipline because they're not as familiar with the game. They didn't start playing the game. They weren't playing all their life since, elementary school or whatever it may be. But I like Abikati. I think he could come in, and scare some of these offenses and help that Titans defense even more. The Titans, another team that have been, flirting with, getting to the Super Bowl, but I don't know if that was their biggest need, but I liked it. I thought, he could come in there, play on the other side of Harold Landry, who just signed a big contract. Like I said, this may not have been their biggest need, but I liked it. And like I said, you're going to see more of these guys coming over from Nigeria, and so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But Penn State's putting out some good pass rushers, which are with all these QBs throwing so much now, and even the QBs running, you need defenders, on the edge that not just rushing the QB, but can be out there and kind of spy. And if that QB's running, he's got the wheels on him that he can chase that QB down, or a running back. So Arnold Abikati to the Tennessee Titans is my pick here. But I have a feeling that he may be gone before this. He may go somewhere in the top 10 to 20. I'm not sure. But like I said, this is just my opinion. But these are some guys that stood out to me. So the next team we have picking is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady is coming back for his 100th year in the NFL. I think Tom Brady is, how old is he now? 142? Sound about right? Yeah, he's been playing since horses were pulling carriages around and there were dirt roads and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a hater, but oh well. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I know they have some guys that they're waiting to hear back from, guys like Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk at tight end. Is he going to come back? He said if he comes back, he's only going to play for his boy Tom Brady. So they're waiting to hear from him. Again, like I said, there's not many really good tight ends in this draft, in my opinion, and I just don't see there being anybody really worth a first-round pick. So another player they're waiting on is the man in Ndamukong Suh, who for years has been a big force on the interior defensive line in the NFL. Very scary guy. I mean, scary name, and he's scary on the field. They don't know if he's coming back or if they're going to bring him back. So I'm going to go with another guy I like by the name of DeMarvin Leal from Texas A&M University. Like I said, I'm definitely not an expert by my standards. He may already be gone at this pick, but if he was still around when the Buccaneers are picking, I think there's a lot to like. I think he's got a lot of upside. He could come in there. I mean, he's young, obviously, and he could come in there and, be, just be a spark plug, be a force on that defensive line, and help that Bucs defense, carry some of the weight for old man Brady, maybe so he's not on the field as much, because he even said the other day he doesn't know how much he has left. So I like DeMarvin Leal. I think he's a big-time interior defender. He can get to the quarterback if you look at his sack numbers, and I think he can also play the run pretty good. So he would help fill some needs for the Buccaneers on that defensive line. Like I said, again, they probably have some bigger needs, but I like DeMarvin Leal. Maybe I'm going out on a limb here, but I think if he's coached right and he's just in the right circumstance, maybe this guy's a Pro Bowler in a couple years. But like I said, I'm definitely not an expert, but that's who I'm going with. So, all right, next, it's getting a little interesting. Green Bay Packers have another first-round pick. This is their original pick that they would have had. Like I said, they had the other pick earlier from the trade with the Raiders. So the Packers, now, they have two really good starting safeties on their defense in Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage from the University of Maryland, if you're the Turtle. But Amos, he's 29. I think he's getting ready to turn 29, or maybe he's getting ready to turn 30. He's in the last year of his contract that he signed. Amos, he's also another hometown guy from Baltimore, Maryland. But anyway, not that anybody cares. So maybe they take another safety in case Amos decides to leave or they decide not to bring him back. I'm going to go with Daxton Hill, safety from Michigan State University. So this would be another Michigan State player going in the first round. And I think there's a lot to like about Daxton Hill. I know when he, from what I've read, when he was coming out of high school, extremely gifted, athletically, good size, good height. Seems to make good adjustments when he's, you need a safety back there that there's different schemes. Some people are more worried about having a safety just be back in what they call center field. And if the QB throws a long pass, he's back there to pick it off or whatever. But that safety, he's the last line of defense, and he needs to be able to make adjustments, especially if the cornerbacks get burnt or they misread a play. They need to be back there, and they need to be able to do a little bit of everything. They need to be able to cover, but sometimes they also need to be able to hit like a linebacker because, maybe there's some running back on the loose. He got through the line, and he needs to be able to take that running back down. But like I said, also, if on a passing play, he needs to be able to make adjustments. They need to be able to be fluid, which by I mean like when, if you're making a sudden change and you're running, you should, some of these guys, they go to make adjustments and they lose speed because they can't change gears as smooth as some other guys. But I think Daxton Hill, I think he's the real deal. And I think back there with the Packers, I think it would be a good pickup for him. I mean, they probably should take another wide receiver, but that would be a perfect world. And so we're not going to do that. Daxton Hill, safety from Michigan State Spartans, going to the Packers. He'll be there. And I'm sure even if Amos does come back, I'm sure with having three safeties, they'll find a way to use all three of them. They can get creative, put them on the field. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, all right. So we're getting there. A couple more picks left. Kansas City Chiefs. I hate them so much. Oh, gosh. I really don't want to pick them a good player. I really don't. But, all right. So the Chiefs, Super Bowl champ several years ago. A lot of times people use an expression called, or they say their window may be closing, by which they mean with the way salaries are in the NFL now and really sports in general. Like, look, Patrick Mahomes got a $500 million contract. So that's not leaving a lot of money for everybody else. So, they have to be smart and be creative about how they pay people, who they choose to pay, and, so on and so forth. So, if you follow football at all, you've seen the Chiefs have had a guy, Tyrann Mathieu, um, who, over the course of his career, which he started with the Cardinals, they call him the Honey Badger. If you don't know what a honey badger is, honey badger takes what it wants, doesn't ask any questions. Honey badger will take your girl, take your food, whatever. But he's a free agent. He's out there. He hasn't signed with anybody. There's been talk that there's been teams interested in him, but I think he's 30 years old now, maybe close to 31. And there's been people talking that he's lost a step. Maybe he's not as quick as he used to be, and which that could be a liability because, again, at safety, regardless of whether you're playing close to the line or wherever you're playing, if you start to lose some steps and you can't make adjustments, you're a liability. So Chiefs have a needed safety. I know they signed safety Reed from Houston, but they still need another safety. I think that's where they were getting really gouged the last couple years. So we're going to go with another safety, Jalen Petrie from Baylor University. Baylor University is in Texas. Jalen Petrie. So again, he's another one I like. Baylor University. He has the attributes and skills that he could come in and really make an impact with the Chiefs. I don't think anybody would expect him to, quote unquote, replace Tyrann Mathieu, because Tyrann Mathieu is kind of his own beast. But I think Petrie has enough of his own, like I said, skills and attributes that he can come in and make his own name. And, nobody's expecting him to be Tyrann Mathieu. Like I said, there's a lot to like about him. He was Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. Big 12, a lot of passing going on there. So if he was All-American in 2021. So if you're in college football and you get chosen to the All-American team, he, that's great, So like I said, Jalen Petrie, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, I really didn't want to pick them anybody good, but I guess I got to try to be not so biased. All right, so that was the Chiefs. Well, guess who the next pick is? It's the Chiefs again. They got another pick. Now, who knows? With them having back-to-back picks like this, I'm going to have to assume that they're either going to, probably take those two picks and try to move up in the draft, or maybe they trade back or whatever it is, but they have back-to-back picks. Now I'm a little conflicted because they traded Tyreek Hill, aka the Cheetah, fastest man in the NFL, traded him to the Dolphins. So they've got a big hole at wide receiver, which I'm okay with. They're going to need another receiver, right? So from everything I've heard and researched, this is a great draft for wide receivers. I mean, I think you could still have impact receivers. You could draft not just in the first round, but the second round, third round, maybe in the fourth round. I mean, there's going to be gems out there, whether they're from small schools, guys that got hurt, guys who didn't run drills and things like that. So maybe people didn't have them as high up on their what they call big boards where they list all their players. I wrote down a pick for them, and it's a wide receiver. But I'm not going to give them a wide receiver. We're going to go with a guy. When you have two picks like this, I think you can take a chance. So we're going to go with a guy by the name of David Ojabo, University of Michigan. Another guy representing the great nation of Nigeria. Now this guy, prior to after this season, I mean, not only was he a first round pick, I think Dave was talking about him. I think at least being a top 15 pick. Unfortunately, I think he tore his ACL or his hamstring? Not his hamstring, but he got injured after the season. So, of course, when a guy gets hurt like that, and they're probably going to miss some of their rookie year, they're going to slide down. But I think everything he showed at the University of Michigan, I can't see him sliding too far. There's going to be somebody who's going to, I don't even want to say take a chance, but they're going to know that, hopefully he's going to recover and they're going to be getting something, something special. Last year, let's see what his stats. So he had 35 tackles, 12 tackles for a loss. Now, if you're confused by that, 12 tackles for a loss means he got him behind the line of scrimmage, whether it was a running back or receiver, whoever it was. He had 11 sacks. So he's getting to the quarterback, 5 forced fumbles. And there's a little resource called Pro Football Focus. And what they do is they grade players and they give them grades, college and NFL. And he earned a 87.3 pass rush grade, which I have to say from Pro Football Focus, that's pretty phenomenal. I mean, this guy, he's just a heck of an athlete. They've got him at 6'4", 250 pounds, which for most people, that's a big man, but he can explode. He, like I said before about being fluid, but he's also flexible. I think let's hope that he makes a full recovery, but when he does, he's going to be terrorizing offensive linemen. He's going to be coming for Lamar Jackson. He's going to be coming for Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, because this is how the game is changing. We have these QBs that are fast and can move. Well, now they're countering it with defensive ends that are also big and fast and strong. So, yeah, we're going to go David Ojabo to the Chiefs. And like I said, hopefully he makes a recovery and can show what he did in college because, he's got so much potential. And like I said, he's still learning the game. But, Chiefs go, David Ojabo, no wide receiver for them because, like I said, I don't care. All right, we got 2 teams left. Now we have the Cincinnati Bengals. They broke my heart. I completely that graphics completely messed up. That's on me, boss. Don't fire me for that. I should have found a more up to date one, but that's why I wrote them down in a notebook because I realized that was wrong. But we have the Cincinnati Bengals. This is pick number 31. So this means obviously they were the loser of the Super Bowl. We watched that game, and we were. Dad, I'm not a Bengals fan. Obviously, I'm a Raiders fan. You can see that, but I was really rooting for them. They lost 2 Super Bowls in the 1980s, and I thought, this is their year. The Rams pulled it out. Maybe the Bengals collapsed a little bit under the pressure of that Rams defense, which is understandable. So the Bengals, Joe Burrow, the man with the swag. He, I think he was sacked the most in the NFL last year, 50, 51, 52 times, but yet they still managed to make the Super Bowl just because of how great that offense is. So we need to continue to get Joe Burrow some help. So with this pick, I'm going to go with a man by the name of Zion Johnson. He's a offensive guard from Boston College. Hopefully I'm not talking out my butt. I think we have that one, but I could be wrong. But if we don't have the graphic, that's okay, because the show will go on. I think I dropped the ball on that one. All right, so Zion Johnson, offensive lineman, interior offensive guard for Boston College. So from what I've read about him, he started out at, I think, a junior college for like 2 years, transferred to Boston College and came in there and played really well. good blocker. So he'd be somebody I think that with his experience and his size and everything, he could come in right away, make an impact for the Bengals and help protect the man Joe Burrow, because you saw he took that hit in the Super Bowl and he looked a little slowed down there in the second half. So the Bengals, a lot of people still, they're still hating on them. I've seen the Bengals making some moves in the off season, signing offensive linemen and whatnot. You got to know they're going to draft. They should still be in a conversation to, make a run back at the Super Bowl, because, I mean, I think they've had some departures, but I don't think anything really, really tremendous that can't be replaced. So, Zion Johnson, I think, again, might be a guy that's probably already gone at this point, because, like I said, we're talking about pick number 31 in the first round. But there's other guys that are going to be available, so we'll see. So, yeah, that's the pick there. So now we're down to our last pick of the first round. We got the Detroit Lions. They got this pick from Super Bowl champ Rams, because the Rams apparently don't care about first-round picks or draft picks in general. If they see somebody they want on somebody's team, their general manager, Les Snead, he's going to go out there and he uses those picks like it's monopoly money. Like he can just go get some more. So they traded this pick in the Matthew Stafford trade. So the Lions this is one of the picks they got back. So the Lions also got Jared Goff, the Rams quarterback, in that trade. I don't think he's really inspiring a huge amount of confidence. So this QB class this year, I think, is definitely a little on the weak side. Some of these guys have a lot of upside, but I don't think there's definitely not anybody that anybody's looking at and said, he's the franchise QB from day one. But with this pick, I'm going to have him take a QB. And I was in a dilemma. Do I go Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett? I'm going to go Kenny Pickett, University of Pittsburgh. Now, I know there's Steeler fans out there that would love the Steelers to take him because he's a hometown guy. And maybe they do. There's been talk about, as silly as it may sound, hand size. But if you've ever picked up a regulation NFL football and see how big it is, if your hands aren't big enough, you're going to have a hard time throwing that ball. And there's been talk about, his hands aren't big enough. And I think we've seen a couple guys in the past who didn't have what was considered, I don't know, stereotypical hand size, whatever. But we're not going to get into all that. Kenny Pickett, he seems like, from what I ever think I know, he's a playmaker. He made plays at University of Pittsburgh. The Lions, they've been in search of, they let Stafford, they traded him because, Matt Stafford, I think he gave everything he could for the Lions. But at that point, at least they had enough respect for him that they traded him. So Kenny Pickett, like I said, there's people who may be down on him because of his hand size and things like that. But I think he brings a lot of other things to the table. Decent size, 6'3". So started for 4 years at the University of Pittsburgh. He's got good legs. And he seems to be a pretty aggressive guy too. He's probably going to make some throws that you kind of wish, he wouldn't, but he's also going to be a guy that he's going to see a window, or maybe the window's not even there, but he's going to make it, he's going to make that throw because he just has that drive. So with the last pick of the first round, like I said, Kenny Pickett, University of Pittsburgh, to the Detroit Lions. So with that, we are done. So like I said, next week, the plan is, I think we're going to go live during rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're not going to go live during the whole draft because we got some other obligations. But we'll recap rounds 1 through 3, and we'll see if any of these picks I made stick. I seriously doubt it. If I get 2 or 3 picks right out of these 32 picks, I'll be really happy, because, like I said, I'm definitely not an expert. I don't get paid to do this. I try to do the research the best of my ability. My opinions are probably more like along the lines of a fan, but I enjoy doing it. I hope you guys, and maybe I brought some attention to some players and just gave you an idea, just kind of like how this whole thing goes down. There's a million people out there doing these mock drafts, but I appreciate everybody watching Intercontinental Sports TV. Again, like I said, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hat trick, baby, and if you have any thoughts about the draft next week or any suggestions or anything you want to see us do, I'm hoping maybe I'm not going to make any promises because it seems like every time I make promises on here, they don't really come to fruition. But hopefully maybe we can get a guest or two on to, help break it down or have thoughts on the draft so far. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not going to make any promises, but we're just going to have fun with it. And like I said, I know there's going to be a lot going down next week. It's going to be really exciting. There's going to be some shocking moments. There's going to be players taken that you're going to hear automatically say, "Oh, that's a horrible pick. Can't believe they took them." But it's part of why you watch. So with that, we're going to call it a wrap. We're going to call it a wrap. And like I said, appreciate y'all. I am going to turn it over to the Donna Sports Entertainment. Yeah, we're going to wrap it. But again, like I said, everybody have a great weekend. Look forward to y'all joining us next Saturday. Should be the same time. And like I said, we'll recap the first 3 rounds. That's a lot of players, so it won't be a tremendous amount of coverage, I think, but we should be able to give you just a little bit about each player, and then try to also track what's going on as the draft is also going live with rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to give it to the Don, the man himself, the man with the vision. See y'all next week.
Yes. This is what we're talking about. It's all about NFL Talk Show. It is what it is. Shout out to all our fans, all our subscribers everywhere in the world. Shout out to you guys. We made it to 2K.
All 2,000 of you.
Yes. Keep coming. Let's go. We move. All right. That's what we have to talk about this week. It's all about NFL draft everywhere. Thank you once again, big guy.
Thank you, sir. The Don.
All right. That's why they call me the Don of Sport. Sometimes they call me Don of Love because sports about love everywhere. It is what it is. We're signing out on this note. Same time next week we'll be here. All right, all our viewers, please subscribe again. Smash the like to the video and also share to the public. Share all your thoughts everywhere. All your friends, all your enemies. It is what it is. We got to sign out of here. Big Mike, what do we do?
Well, leave some comments. I want you all to tell us who's better on the mic.
All right.
Is it the big guy?
All right.
Or is it the Don?
Come on, let's go. Drop your comment. Let's do this. What a fantastic comment there. Let's see who behind the mic, who's sexy, who's robustic, who's what else?
Where the ladies at?
All right, let's do this. I'm out of here before I get arrested. All right, guys. Once again, we're signing out. One love, everybody.
Have a good weekend. Be safe.
All right, bye.